What's up, everybody, and welcome to a long-belated episode of our continuing series, Team Chit Chat. I'm one of your hosts, Rachel Mogan, joined through the power of the internet and probably to my left, Jerrett Wilson.
You're right, it is to your left. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
So, just in case you're not aware, Team Chit Chat is a special mini show, it's a subsidiary.
That's
Team
what we
Chit
called it.
Chat
That's what
is
we called
a
it, yeah.
subsidiary of Team Chat, wherein Jerrett and I have the opportunity to talk about any given topic that we just really want to share with people, that we just really want to talk about, that isn't directly related to video games. Examples of past episodes are Sushi Go, the board game. I love that game. Jerrett has talked about the Castlevania anime, not the game. We've talked about... I particularly love to talk about anime, so we've talked about Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, and we've talked about Star Wars before, so this is just kind of our space to discuss anything that we don't normally get to talk to you all about. So this is a partially patron-only exclusive, so check out our Patreon if you haven't already done so. These episodes do go out to patrons first, typically 2 weeks earlier than everybody else gets them. So subscribe to our Patreon. We will love you for it, and you get to know us even more than before.
Your wonderful co-hosts.
Your wonderful co-hosts.
Learn about our lives. That's what we're here.
Yeah. Should we do the billboard real quick?
Oh, let's do the billboard. So you got to turn the other way. There we go. Billboard pose.
Hashtag for the billboard. All right. So anyways, today's episode of Team Chit Chat is going to be brought to us by Jerrett. I don't even know what he's going to talk about. This is a mystery to me as much as it is to everybody else. So Jerrett, what do you want to discuss?
I love how much that the whole basis of this show is a mystery to each other. For all the show, like Team Chat and this one, we just keep each other in the dark all the time. And I honestly love it. That hasn't come back to bite us in the ass. I know that hasn't come back to bite us in the ass at all. And I'm thrilled that this is kept up. You did have the guess though, before I started, if I was going to talk about the Mandalorian, which I could in depth talk about the Mandalorian.
Oh, I know.
But if you want to hear thoughts on that though, head over to another podcast project that I have with a local fellow Austinite here, Bob Serrano. We do a podcast called Beskar Boys, where we're recapping the season 2 episodes of The Mandalorian. So you can check that out if you want. But one of the things, what I did want to talk about though, is another TV show, because we, in all these quarantine times, and I kind of tossed around like maybe this episode of bringing back Team Chit Chat should be kind of more what have we done in quarantine?
But that would be 12 hours long.
It would be. So I have to kind of summarize it down. And one of the things though that overall has been kind of the thing getting me through these times, at least, has been just the comfort things. I've been playing, I honestly look at my list of games that I've beaten this year. It's not long. Because I spent a lot of time playing games. I'm very curious to see my Nintendo end of year summary, because my hours of Civilization 6 are going to be extreme. I've played that game so much, because that's just what I've turned to this year, is a lot of those comfort things. But I've still seen some new things out there. Sam and I have watched a lot of TV. We've watched a lot of movies. And the one thing that I want to talk to you about today for this Team Chit Chat is a show that came out of nowhere. I was not expecting it to be good. I was not expecting it to be funny. Most of all, I was not expecting it to be as wholesome and comforting as it is.
Can I guess? You have to give me at least 3 guesses.
Okay, you can go. Guess.
The Good Place.
No.
Damn it, I thought for sure I had it.
No.
Oh, so it's wholesome, funny.
It's unexpected though, so that's why I think you're not you're not going to guess it, I don't think.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
As much as I love that show, and Rob McElhenney is a fucking beautiful man.
Snack with 2 C's.
God, he's such a snack. Yeah.
And Danny DeVito.
Yes. Oh my God. Even a smaller size snack.
Oh yeah, he's fun size. He's a fun size snack. All right. So that's 2 guesses. Schitt's Creek.
No. Although
Damn
also
it.
wholesome.
Oh. All right, those are my 3
Creek, though, the world knows is wholesome at this point.
That's
this
true.
one, I'm talking about this show specifically because the world needs to know how wholesome it is. Granted, I understand it's a little bit harder barrier to entry because it is on Apple TV Plus.
No
Um,
wonder I don't know what it is.
we'll
Who
have to try
even
to figure.
has that?
I'll have to figure out if you can get like a like a trial,
Uh,
because I think you might like the show too. I don't know, but
I do
the
like
show I'm
wholesome
talking
and funny.
the show I'm talking about is Ted Lasso, starring Jason Sudeikis.
I have no idea what that is.
So hear me out. You're going to have some initial reservations to this first, because the show does revolve around sports. So
You've
Ted,
lost me.
now
Yeah,
stick
you
with
lost me, Jerrett.
Here's where you got to stick with me for a little bit here, because Ted Lasso, what the story of this one is, and why I originally was like, there's no way this is going to be good, is because the character of Ted Lasso was created like 6 years ago by NBC Sports to promote the Premier League of soccer in England being aired on NBC Sports. So Jason Sudeikis played the character then. He's like this, I can't remember where he's from originally, but from the South, football coach, American football coach, who goes over to England to coach a Premier League team.
Oh, he's definitely from Alabama. I'll say
I
that.
think he might be, or something like that. But he's got like a really thick accent and like a really thick mustache and all this stuff. But he goes over there, and in these commercials, he's like making a fool of himself because he knows nothing about English culture and all this stuff. He's mispronouncing city names left and right. But the commercials themselves were hilarious, and they were like little mini web episode kind of things. So lo and behold, I see earlier this year Ted Lasso coming to Apple TV Plus, and I was like, no way, they're making a show out of this? Are you kidding me? And it was made by Bill Lawrence, who made Scrubs and Cougar Town and stuff like that, which I like those shows. So I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot. Oh my God. It was so good. Not only was it hilarious and like had incredible jokes that you'd hear them and you'd be like, what? Oh, and then you thought about it and you think, and like, oh my God, that was incredible in the terms of writing. But what shocked me about it is how wholesome it was, because even though, yes, it's a sports show and about this soccer team, it doesn't focus on the typical sports side of things. He comes in not knowing really anything about soccer, but what it is. And so obviously there's a lot of ribbing and jokes at that point. Like, why are you even here? What are you doing here? Why is this American here to coach us on this sport that we know so well and he knows nothing about? But the difference is that Ted Lasso doesn't necessarily focus on, he focuses more on making those guys play together and be better people. And that's it. Just so he like takes on even like the team hothead, or like the old crusty team captain who's like, kind of angry all the time and stuff like that.
So just to clarify, this is a team of adults, right?
Adults. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
Yes. It's a fake Premier League soccer team.
I don't know what Premier League is, so you're.
That's like the Manchester United.
I wasn't sure if that was like for young people.
Oh no. That's like, it's like the top tier soccer
you can
clubs.
See how much I know about sports.
Well, so that's what I mean. Like you gotta hang with me a little bit here in the sense that it's it might not necessarily sound right up your alley, but it's just, again, I don't want to give too much of it away and like what the story beats and everything, but like Ted is going through things in his personal life. He's in England, separated from his family for a little while he's like trying to get established. There's some drama and everything with like the owner of the team. She was recently divorced from her playboy husband, who, and now she's in control of the team and everything, and is trying to make a name for it of herself. And there's also like this sweet guy who is like when it first comes on, he's kind of like the assistant. He like picks up the jerseys after games and does all this stuff. But like Ted kind of even takes him under his wing. He's like this, in his mind, and to everybody else, he's like lower level because he's just this guy. But like Ted takes him under his wing and like helps him and like kind of mentors him and everything. And it's just all the typical things of what a sport show is, where it's all about like, I'm getting money and like I'm trying to be out there for me and all that stuff. It kind of turns all that on its head, and it does it so well that you just, every episode ends and we're like the first episode ended and we're like, wow, that was really funny. Yeah, we're gonna give this another go. We're gonna come back for episode 2. Episode 2 happened and you're just like, oh my God, like I'm feeling things and I'm laughing. What is this? I'm stuck at home with nothing to laugh about and I'm laughing, and it just kept going and building every episode. By the final end of the show, we were just like, holy shit, this is the best show of 2020. Like honestly, because in terms of like, 8 to 10,
a
I
short
think.
show. Tragic.
30 minutes too.
Oh, God.
But like the level of storytelling and how it comes together is just not what I was expecting. And it just had some truly wonderful moments. Every episode ended and you just felt good. You just felt good. And I think in a year that 2020 has been, I think you need as many of those things as you can get.
Agreed.
And so having Ted Lasso as something to go. So that's why I say, like, everybody go watch Ted Lasso. Get the Apple TV Plus, week trial subscription, whatever it is. Watch through the show. You will not be disappointed. And it's done so well, it's already been confirmed for season 3, even though season 2 hasn't even started filming yet.
That's
but
nice.
It's just so good. Like it's kind of like how people talk about Schitt's Creek in that way. Like, it's just so good. Ted Lasso is the exact same.
I also wasn't entirely on board at first with Schitt's Creek. Like, it took me about 4 to 5 episodes to really be like, okay, I get it. This show is really good. So even though I'm not a sportman, I am actually really interested. And I would someday like to watch this show because I do love Jason Sudeikis. He is incredible. He's so funny.
So funny.
I couldn't immediately match the right actor to that name. So at first I was like, Jim from The Office. And then I looked him up and I was like, of course that's who it is. So
that's
that
old SNL guy in a lot of really good movies and stuff. No, Sam and I both really love Jason Sudeikis, and he just kills it in this role. But it's also got some really great other actors in it as well. I know the only other thing I knew her from was from the HBO series Vinyl for a little bit, Juno Temple, but she's in it and she's great too. And she plays this, what is more like a influencer celebrity kind of person, I believe, or maybe she's a singer. I can't quite remember, but like the kind of character that you would kind of initially think in typical or other American shows is going to be like the ditzy comedic relief, but she in turn like kind of turns into more of a sweet, nurturing character as well in her own way. And just everything just subverts your expectations for what it would typically be in a sports comedy.
Yeah.
And just quite, like I said, literally became one of the most wholesome show of 2020 for me. And it was, and quite honestly, like, yes, I know I love The Mandalorian. I'm always going to love The Mandalorian, anything Star Wars puts out. But separate from that, Ted Lasso is by far the best thing, like one of the best things I've watched this year.
Well, in that case, I'm very happy to have learned about it. And just as soon as I get somebody's password to Apple TV, I'll give it a shot.
But yeah, so I mean, I know you stick with the Androids, but normally, if you buy a new phone, they give you like a year free. That's how we got it. So
I can't. You think I can afford a new phone? I'm trying to save it for a PlayStation 5, man. I don't have that kind of money.
Same. But no, that's what I think I wanted to bring this back with is just a something good for people to go experience.
Lighthearted show for people to be able to experience and feel those warm fuzzies that we all need in these trying times.
So many. We recommended it to our friend Angela, and I think she got the week trial, binged through the whole show in like a day, and then I want to say like rewatched the whole show like 2 more times before her trial ran out. She liked it so much.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's a good show. And excellent. I can't wait for season 2.
That's a good idea. I'll just go get a free trial.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll
work on that.
You're about to be gone for like a whole week. Bring in the whole Mogan clan. Be like, here we go. Jerrett said this is good.
Yep.
As long as people don't have as long as your parents are fine with hearing the occasional F-bomb every once in a while, then they'll be okay.
They watch Game of Thrones. Nothing else can be worse.
I'm just kidding. I just still think of that one time, one of the episodes where we started off
and my dad yelled at me for using the F word.
You're like, fuck. And he was like, Mogan, no.
He was like, my dog. Well, he doesn't call me that, obviously, but he was like, my sweetie pie.
My sweetie pie.
He actually calls me Sweet Pea, in case you're wondering. I know, right?
That's nice.
Anyways, thank you so much for sharing that wonderful, what do you call them? Bits of goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. This has been another fantastic, short, delightful episode of Team Chit Chat. This is exactly the kind of content you can expect on these little episodes, and we'll be back again at probably, so Jerrett and I have both watched a lot of TV. Be ready for a lot of discussions about shows we've watched, so stay tuned for more next time. Peace out.
See ya.